Oh man, I need another cold snack. Oh, oh, oh. Hey, what's going on? Sorry, I got gas. I got gas problems with this Escalade. Daggum fuel tank. I dropped it to put a fuel pump in it, and the lock ring tab thing horns are rotted and broke off. So you can't put a fuel pump in it. And a fuel tank's like $1,300. People have a used one and they want $500 for it, and it's in Texas and they won't ship it because, of course, it's had gas in it. So I'm pretty much SOL on that one there. Sore old loser. Yep. But we're going to fix it. And I'm going to show you guys at home how to fix yours the same way. And it still had the reliability that you need. It ain't going to leak. And, you know, you just get you a good Delphi or AC Delco pump, and, you know, they last for 100 and something thousand miles. You know, you run some good fuel and dump some of that Chevron Tecaron down in there, and it helps lubricate the stuff that the wizards shoot their juice out with and keeps it from locking up. But before we get started, I'm getting ready to release some can koozies. Now, you guys know how I like my good old PB blasters. Well, it's Pabst Blue Ribbon, but I keep calling it a PB blaster. But anyway, I'm going to make some can koozies that's got that logo, and it's going to say PB Blaster Beer Refueled on the label. If you guys are interested and you would like one, let me know. I'll order however many I need, and I'll make sure I get them sent out to whoever wants one. So just let me know. All right? So, time to get started. Y'all guys ready? Like one of my subscribers said, pocket beers, they just hit different. They're a little more satisfying. That's why I keep one in my pocket. Everywhere I go, except when I'm at work. When I drive that big truck, I don't have no beer in my pocket. I can't do that. That's how I take care of my family. But, you know, you always keep a beer in your pocket, just in case you need one, you know? Well, let's get back on track. Refueled. So, my great friends over at Mech Parts out of Fallwood Parkway in Farmington, New York, made me these fuel lines. And we'll open them up here in a second, and I'm going to show you. They are nylon Teflon, just like new vehicles. So if you decide you want to do something in your vehicle and tune it to run E85, there you go. Done. And all the original connectors and fittings is all already on here with everything you need to install it. Comes as a complete kit. And they also make any custom line that you need. Anything, I mean, you could just dream this up and say, okay, I need this fitting, or even AN fittings, or whatever you need for your project or your daily driver. Make sure you give them a shout. I'll have a link in the description to their eBay page and also an email to get a hold of them for all your needs. And you're going to need some of this stuff. Seal all. This stuff right here is, I mean, they could have fixed the Titanic with this. I mean, it literally seals everything up. It said seal all, it will seal all. I put it on my ex-wife's lips. It didn't work, but it seals everything else. Then, some good old number 8 self-tappers with rubber washers like you would use to put metal roof on. We are going to seal that lock ring, which is still intact. Yours may be rusted. But inside that tank, where that clips on, is a metal ring molded into that plastic. So we're going to run some self-tappers down in there, and we're going to drill our lock ring and run these self-tappers in there with some sealant on the screws in the hole and also around the sealing surface. And I'm going to mount this pretty much like you would a fuel pump. And we're going to be just fine. And then we're going to put these fuel lines on, and we're going to get SS laid back on the road. She's been sitting here since last weekend. And I ain't going to lie, a guy misses his truck. You don't realize how much you love your truck until you don't got it. And, well, I've been kind of lonely, you know. And I said number 8 screws. These are number 10 by 1.25 inch. Hex, self-tappers, self-drilling. So remember that. All right, well, I'm going to pull this tank out. I've already got that part done. I'm not going to go through the process of showing you me drilling holes and all that crap. Basically, you're just going to drill the holes through the lock ring and into the plastic and through the metal with a smaller drill bit, a pilot hole. Then you're going to put some of this in the holes, which dries quick, so you got to work quick. Keep your lineup tab on there. I run a pilot screw with a hole and get it in there. I put all my glue on there, set it down there, put it a little bit around the edge. Don't put it on the gasket that comes with the fuel filter or fuel pump, because you might need to change it one day. At least this way you can back the screws out and put them right back in, and you're going to save yourself a lot of money. So I'm going to pull this tank out, show you guys what I did to it, and then we're going to tear into these fuel lines and replace them, and I'm going to show you what's in this package. Now, those of you may be asking, what are you going to do about a fuel filter? Well, I got that covered. I got a Wix 33481 fuel filter I'm going to put in, because I got to break it loose at fuel filters anyways. And it's an OEM. Just like most other guys, I only use a Wix. I trust them. Been using them forever. So for these OBS trucks, actually I think 96 through 99 on these, this is the filter you need, a 33481. I'm not sure about the prior. I want to say maybe, but it could be different because of fuel pressure, popularization stuff. So just wanted to add that. Okay, so if your lock ring is still good and it's not rotted out, you can use it. But these, look at that. They're shot. This one's broke completely off. As long as your tab's still in place, you can get your fuel pump to lock in place. Clean it up real good with some brake clean, whatever. I got a pilot hole here. That way I could line it up. This flange right here actually has a metal ring similar to this molded into the tank. So if you drill pilot holes smaller than your self-tappers, you can get all the way through there. Make sure the fuel's out. Get them drilled. Blow the tank out. That way you don't have the debris and stuff floating in your tank with your fuel. Take your seal-all, put it on your threads, and put some down in the holes. Put it together, line it up, run your alignment screw in, okay? And then take a 5/16 drill driver or whatever you have for whatever size you're using. And in 4 equal places, run it in. Don't run it all the way down. Tighten it. Come over here, tighten it. Come over here, tighten it, and get you a ratchet and torque it. Make sure you go down evenly. That way it sits down in there where it belongs. It's nice and tight, and you're going to get a good seal. That's pretty much it. As long as you get that sealant on there, your threads are sealed, that seal-all will seal it right up. So I'm going to get this back out of the way. I'm going to crawl under here and check out which fuel lines I'm going to replace, because not all of them are bad. I got the whole kit just because, but I'm just pretty much really only need the return line, but I'm going to go ahead and replace the line that goes up to my fuel filter as well. See what they look like when I get under there. I may just go ahead and redo them all. We'll see. Okay, so in this kit, you're going to get your pressure line and your return line, some fittings that run into your filter and then off of your injector feed. All the correct fittings are there. He's got O-rings here for you as well. Other clamps and clips that you may need. And these are good clamps. This is like what OEM stuff uses now. And, you know, he also gives a fuel filter and some destructions here. And some zip ties. That way you can put it up. I put it in the original clamps, but then I also use a zip tie on there to kind of hold it in place. So I'm gonna crawl under here and see what kind of damage I got, and then go from there. So a lot of people don't change their fuel filters. I want to show you why you should. Look at that. Look at that. Look at what come out of there. Look at that crap. That's what came out of this fuel filter right here. Black, cruddy junk. And this is a cheap Taiwan filter somebody put on there. You know what you do with those? Don't use that crap. Spend a couple of more dollars and get a good filter. Get a Wix. Hell, even get a micro guard. I don't care. Just don't put crap, because it lets a lot of that stuff through. Then you wonder why you're getting spittering and sputtering and bogging, and your injectors are clogged up, and the truck ain't running right. That's why. So, and luckily all I need is the return line that runs right there by my fuel filter, which comes undone right there with a fitting back to the tank. And that's pre-made in my kit. All my other lines look literally brand new, like it's 2000. They're perfect. So I'm just going to replace the return line from the hard line back to the tank. That way I'm not getting into everything else. And I don't risk breaking another fitting or doing something else that I don't want to do today. I need another cold stack. I'm already, this is going to be 4 deep right here. I'm judging that we're going to be 6 deep on this project today. Refueled. Oh, that's great. All right, so I got you guys under here. I'm going to show you this plastic clip. That's where your fuel filter slides in. That's your feed into the filter. That end is your feed up to the fuel rail, or the spider injector, whatever you want to call it on this model. Now, right behind that, there's another fitting. Oops. I just pulled that out of its clip. That's what I needed. Oh, pooey. This splashed gas right in my eye socket. In my mouth, too. But that fitting right there is the return line. So why couldn't a guy just break it loose right there at that union? Screw this other line that came in my kit in there. Run it back through here. Which, I mean, look at my lines. They're not rotted and rusted out. There's nothing wrong with my lines. Some asshat broke the damn tabs inside of here where it seats under the fuel pump, and they filled it full of JB Weld and ruined it. Yeah, I got a little surface rust on here, but I mean, this truck looks solid. I mean, look at the floors on this thing. Seam seal. I mean, it's a good, clean truck. I love this truck. It's not rotted like you usually see. I mean, you're gonna get the drive shaft rust. I mean, you know. I mean, but it's still got the sticker on it. You know, 3 Rivers. It's even got the factory exhaust, which we're getting ready to change that really, 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 really soon. But yeah, I mean, all the fuel lines and stuff it's all there. Trans is good. I mean, no rear main leaks. I mean, I love this truck. And I hate the fact that it's been dead for a week. So I'm going to break it loose right there. I'm going to put my line that comes in my kit. And I'm going to do the right thing. And I'm not even going to remove the old line. I'm just going to tuck it up in here somewhere and just run the new line right next to it and pretend I didn't see it. So I've already routed the line. I got this fitting slid up into the tubing here. And as you see, you just warm it up with a heat gun or cigarette lighter. Don't get it too hot where it melts it. Just warm it up. Make sure you slide this clamp on. Slide your fitting in. There's going to be an O-ring that's going to go on this end that goes into that return line. And same way on your other lines coming out of your filter back to your tank. You'll put this clamp on here. Then you're going to take a pair of side cutters or wire cutters. And see that little shoulder on the top up here? Where that dot is? You're going to put your cutting surface between either, let me get where I can show you, either side of this shoulder and squeeze it tight. Right about through here somewhere. I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to show you. I'm going to put this O-ring on here, and then our return line's ready to go. We're ready to put the tank back. Okay, there's that compressed. Like I said, just put your side cutters on either side and just squeeze it, and it's on there. It's locked in. This little O-ring here goes with it. It's going to go into that fitting, which will go up inside of that union up inside underneath I showed you guys. We'll tighten that down, make sure it's good and sealed. I'm going to go ahead and attach everything down the frame, get that up in there where it belongs, and do the stuff. And then we're going to start putting this tank back up in there and hook our lines up. And I can almost bet my battery's dead on this Escalade because I got a parasitic draw somewhere. And if I don't start this thing every day or every 2 days, we're done. I'd have to get a jump. So I'm probably going to have to use Mama Bunny's Ragu Slod and SS and give it a good jump. We'll be back in a minute. All right, so we got all the connectors hooked back up. We got our evap lines, we got our return line, evap lines over there, lines on the fuel pump hooked up, power connector, sending unit. We still got that to hook up, but that plugs in, that's the pressure, tank pressure sensor switch. That'll continue to hook up when we hook up the vent drain and the filler tube neck. I got it sitting up on that cross member now, because if you don't, you're gonna have fun getting it back in there. So set it up on this cross member, let it hang down at an angle like that, hook all your connections up, let it rest on the ground down here like this. Go get your jack, block of wood, whatever you want to use, put under here, raise it up, get this filler tube up over the rear end housing and back in there where it needs to be, where everything lines up, and then you can take your straps and put them back on and get them in there where they belong. And this goes into the frame rail here, and the strap will connect to that. This goes up in the frame rail up here. All right, so got everything hooked up. Of course, like I said, parasitic draw, battery's dead. So Mama Bunny's going to pull the Ragu Slaw SS over here, and I'm going to jumpalize it and put some Energon in the Energon cube there. We're going to pressurize the fuel system and check for leaks and see if she runs. Be right back. So, well, we got Megatron and Starscream here pumping some Energon into my Energon cube over here. Just wanted to tell you guys, you know, when you put these fuel systems back together, tank's been dropped, fuel pump out, lines disconnected, it's been depressurized. There's air in the lines, especially if it's been sitting for 7 million years like this one was. So don't just go cranking on it right out the gate. You want to cycle the key to the on position. You'll hear that fuel pump kick in. Listen to it, it'll change tone. Turn the key off. Wait about 5 seconds, turn it right back on, listen to it, and it'll change tone again. Come up here on your fuel rail and take a little drill bit or a screwdriver and push in on that Schrader valve and let the air out of that fuel rail. Make sure you got fuel spraying out like it did me. 93 octane. And some Berryman. We're good. So, once we get the Energon up through the jump rope here and into the Energon cube, we're going to turn her on and hit that key and start this Escalade for the very first time in 6 days. I know it's not that dramatic. It's only 6 days. It'd be better if it was like 6 years or 16 years, 26 years. I was supposed to went and got that Lincoln this weekend, but this Escalade decided it wanted to take a long nap. I almost gave it a dirt nap. I almost pushed it off the driveway over there in the field and just lit what was left of the gas in the tank up, but it's too good of a truck. I can't do that. I love this truck. I got a billet grill for it too I'm going to put in. Maybe we'll get a shot of that or show you how to do it in this video. Or maybe I'll just do another video. I don't want to confuse you people that are doing a fuel pump and trying to fix your lock ring. So I'm going to pressurize the fuel system and see if we got Old Faithful, you know, Yellowstone National everywhere. Well, I don't see stuff spraying all over the place. It ain't dripping out of the fuel filter that I put in, and my return line's doing return line things. I can hear it going back to the tank. So let's see if we got enough energon in the energon cube and fire her up. Let's see. Derek says, bring the thunder. What are we going to say? Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. As the great James Hetfield would say. It's doing stuff and explosions inside there. And I don't have a waterfall. Now I wonder, it's running awful smooth. Good old small block 350 liter. 5.3 for all you litre people. Or 350 cubic inches of raw American engineering. "24 years old. 24 years old. And listen to that. And we don't have a waterfall. We don't have geyser lighters and power washers and sprinkler systems under there. So I'm going to put the rest of the straps on the tank and hook my fill tubes up, and we're going to see if this thing might want to eat a couple onions and go do a burnout. And we'll be back in a few minutes. Well, she runs. No leaks, no issues. Goes up down the road just fine. I'm not going to beat on it though. I got some other things coming for it pretty soon, and I'd hate to tear it up now. I'd rather put some performance parts on it, then blow it up. That way I got a reason to pull the motor out and tell Mama Bunny that I need to buy another motor. Why not? Shh, don't tell her. She's probably watching this. Well, that'll be today's episode of the HomeWrencher. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I hope that you learned in this episode to get you guys going, and don't junk that truck. Fix it. I just filled the tank up. There ain't a leak nowhere. We're good to go. Y'all have a good day. God bless. I love each and every one of you.